Okay, let's talk about images and links because those are important. And as you can see, when I hover over, I got my social links right here. As I hover, they will lead to my Instagram or Twitter, Google Plus, or Facebook profile account so people can find out more about me. And as far as this will be your logo spot, I just have this image as a placeholder. And as you scroll down, as we've seen, we have this image also. So these images are all going to work in the same fashion. And if you click on your about page, it'd be the same fashion, and all this, even the paragraphs and everything else, will function the same. And I will talk about colors and things like that afterwards. Same thing goes with your contact. You got your image, you got your paragraphs, and right here, this form, I will talk about when I talk about coloring, which is more towards the end of this. So let's go ahead and go back to your single blog page. Now, if you happen to click the home button already, you will notice that they have one box right here ready to go. So this is basically when you write your blog, you're going to store it in here, and then when they click, they're going to go to the story. But we will talk about that in the workflow video. All right, so let's jump into your code and let's find your image. So I'm going to start at the top. Like I said, it's all going to be the same format. That's why I'm going to mention links also. So I'm going to scroll all the way to the top and find your social buttons right here. All right, cool. So don't worry too much about things like this. This is basically a container, if you want to think about that, or a block. And anything in between, which is we're going to talk about, which will be right here, are your images and your links. And the same thing goes for your menu. So when you click your about, it's going to take you to your about page. So as far as images goes, if you go ahead and open your file and click on the images, all these images are basically the ones that you see. So I got my Facebook, my Instagram, my Twitter, and Google Plus, and all these you can download them if you want. They're free, so you can download them and put them in your image folder. And just make sure you have the correct spelling and the correct extension, which is, as you can see right here, it says item type PNG file. That's what the extension is. So there's different ones. There's JPEG, there's this PNG, there's a GIF, and there's a ICO or icon. So there's different ones. Just make sure everything is spelled as is. So basically that's how it works. I have a folder called images, and in that folder I have a photo called Facebook 32.png. Now the same thing goes for every image you see on the website. It's all like, you got my Google, which I showed you, and Twitter and Instagram also. If you scroll down a little bit more, this piece right here, image source, image placeholder, is this main one right here. So when you create your logo and you want to find this piece, this is where it is. So for example, if this piece right here, if something's wrong with my image, and like I said, there's JPEG and PNG and different ones, so just make sure your extensions are correct, and spelling also. So let's say if I do that, I'm messed up, I just typing fast, go ahead and save it. Now logo goes here, and what that is just is this alternative or alternate, whatever you want to call it, basically saying if something goes wrong, this will appear. So I'm gonna go ahead and fix that back to normal. The same thing goes for images. If your folder is called images, but you forgot to add the S, the same thing will happen. The link will be broken. So you got to make sure your spelling is correct and things like that. Now, let's scroll down a little bit, and we talked about the paragraphs and the image right here. So when you are ready to put your image for your paragraph, which would be right here, that's where you will go. And like I said, for visual wise, you know where your paragraph's right here, so therefore my image should be near it. And I know the top is a little bit more I can't say difficult, but maybe harder to find since it is a placeholder image. But that one will be right here. And then I put some text right here to kind of help you find it easier. And you can change this to whatever you want, but that text is right below it right here. So in hindsight, you can say, oh, all right, here's the text right there, so the image should be close by. All right, so let's scroll back up to your social buttons again. And let's talk about these A tags, or anchor tags, is what they call them. So basically, you surround the image so you can link the image. So when people hover on the image, it's ready to get clicked and linked. So as far as this goes, if you have a Facebook profile, this is where you're gonna put in your Facebook profile address. So I'm not gonna go to my Facebook, but you can pause the video or go to your Facebook and your profile, and at the top you're gonna have, of course, an address like this. Well, it's gonna be different, but you're just gonna go ahead and copy that address and place that right there. So basically, you go to your Facebook profile. Once you go to your Facebook, you log in, go to your profile, and then at the top they're gonna have the address. You're just basically gonna copy and paste that into between these quotes right here. And the same thing goes for if you have a Google Plus, same thing goes. Go to your profile, copy the address, which will be in this bar, just like the YouTube. Same thing, just go copy the address and put it in there. So basically I can do this, copy this, and put it in. Let's say I just put it in my Facebook, save it, and I'm gonna go ahead and refresh. So if I go to my Facebook, I'm gonna click it, and it's gonna take me to that place I want it. So think of it like that. Wherever you want to send them to, just make sure you place it in between the quotes. And the same thing goes for your Twitter and your Instagram. So let's scroll down a little bit more. The same thing goes for your menu right here, your home, about, and contact. They have links. Now index is your home page, and when you get your web hosting, that is important because you need an index, because that is your home page. Alright, so keep that in mind, and just remember these A tags. Whenever you see this, that means, alright, this is a link. And the same thing goes for your about and your contact. So if you click right here and you go to your files, you can see you got your about and your contact and your index, which is your home page. And basically that's how things work. And as far as like I said about images and how they are in a folder called images, the same thing goes for anything else. So if I had a folder called about and I had my about page in there, my link will have to be about folder / and in that folder I have an about page. But don't get too caught up on that stuff. Just think of more of the images and also videos, which I don't have no videos in here, but the concept is the same. You have a folder, and in that folder I have a video called such and such. And I believe that should be good for images, and the same thing goes for your other pages, your about and contact. All these principles will apply. And since we are talking about videos, let's scroll down a little bit. And as you can see, we got a video spot right here, and that's what we are going to talk about next.